Hey gang, Diana here. Thanks for stopping by today and welcome to new subscribers. I have a quick video today and I got some of my inspiration from this fabulous magazine out of Canada called Uppercase. It's just filled with inspiration, and this one happens to have a lot of information about postage stamps. It also has a lot about lace in the back, which I love, but we're going to concentrate on the postage stamps inspiration today. So I have here a big stamp. It's called Hero Arts. I'll link it down below. It's Hero Arts Vintage Constellation, I think. And I also have this Hero Arts Ombre ink pad, and that's the blues and greens. So let me show you how to stamp this up. You get a really nice look. That's not actually one of the best ones, but I think you get a really nice look with that variation. So let me show you how I'm going to stamp this up. The ink pad has dark, medium, and light strips on it. So I'm going to get this dark strip in the middle. So I'm just going to tap, but I'm going to tap back and forth to blend the ink. You want to try not to, just tapping back and forth to blend the ink. You don't want to transfer too much of the ink onto especially onto the lighter pad. So now I'm going to flip it around so that dark is in the center again. And again, just tapping and moving it back and forth across the page or across the stamp. Okay, once I'm pretty sure that is stamped up pretty good, I'm just really inspecting it because this is such a large stamp that you really need to take your time and make sure you've got it well covered with ink. I'm going to grab my card, and this one I think I'm going to put, at the bottom and have that circle is going to be more up here. So lay it right on the ink, right on the stamp, and then I just take a piece of waste paper and rub the back. And rub it well, and take your time with this again. This is letting the ink absorb into the paper, just giving it a minute to sort of dive into that paper and be absorbed. Especially with a stamp this big. So give it a good massage, so to speak. Okay, take that off and let's see what kind of a print we've got. That's a nice print. It's the darkest one I've gotten. Probably forgot, in fact, I'm pretty sure I forgot to clean it last time, so bummer. So clean your stamps. And I like this. I just clean it with a rag or a stamp cleaner. And I do clean my stamps because of situations like that, where you can see that they're, actually it looks kind of cool, because you can see that they're overlaps. I'm not going to ditch that because I think I could do something with that. But I'll work with another one that came out a little bit more traditional, shall we say. So I'm going to work with this one. You can see that came out really pretty nicely. And the inspiration I'm taking from Uppercase is, this is just colorful and I like it. And then there's the space, I forget what that's called. I totally forget what it's called, but that will be like collaged on there, and I could actually, let me see, I'm going to play around with it a little bit. So I decided to go with just the two, that I'm going to put all of my little pieces together before I glue that down. So I thought it would be kind of funny to use this Lawn Fawn stamp set called Flying By. I love paper airplanes. I have a real thing with them. So I'm just going to, I mounted them on an acrylic block, and I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink to just, I'm going to stamp out a bunch of these because I can see myself making a lot of these cards. I have a bunch of backgrounds, and I think it's a funny card, and I think that guys would enjoy getting it, which is always a challenge. But so I just stamped out a bunch of these. I'm going to cut them out, and then I'll come back and assemble the card. I've cut out 2 of these paper airplanes, but I think I'm probably going to just go with 1. And the 2 stamps were really hard to balance, and that's because it's really hard to balance 2 elements or 4 elements. It looks very static. So I came ahead and got another stamp, and I'm just going to, you know, you could use anything to put these down. I'm just using, in fact, I think I'm going to use my Better Craft, my Better Glue Stick for this. Ooh, it makes a really good one. Right now, I usually use that, and every once in a while I treat myself to the Cocoina because it smells like almonds, and it's also really good. Oops, I actually forgot to put, oh, for heaven's sakes. I forgot to plug down this. Okay, so I'm going to nail down this. I'm going to glue tape runner down this thing because it's just easier that way. I love these tape runners. They're kind of, I go through them a lot, and they're kind of expensive to use, but they're so convenient that I do wind up using them. So I've got a piece of gray cardstock here, and I think this is my favorite things. I really like their cardstock. Simon Says Stamp has really good cardstock, and so does a bunch of them are really good. But Stampin' Up, I just got some cardstock from them, and that was really nice too. So, and this is like about 100 pound, 120, and I like that for my card bases. I found. So I'm going to just put that on a little crookedy. So it's, again, because we're looking for a little bit of variety, and things get very static if you make things too perfect looking, they get a little static. So I like to do that. And then the rest of them can be completely straight, but as long as you have some kind of movement. And there's my last one. I was so happy to find this. It's a heart in outer space. So this is going to someone who commented on my blog, who said, pleased as punch. What presidential candidate said pleased as punch? So I'm going to do a YouTube giveaway too. So if you know who said, whose tagline was pleased as punch, leave a comment. And you really have to be of a certain age. And I know I'm giving away my age, but I don't care. What do I care? Yeah, I think I'm going to put that just below center. So that's, then inside I'll write. I like to write inside. I don't, especially on this kind of a card, because this is fun. And I don't want to get caught up in a greeting. So that's the card. I'm probably going to put a piece of white paper in here, maybe some other kind of paper in here, and write a little note. I could even use, in fact, I probably will use, because I just thought of it and I think it's a cool idea, some paper from one of these old ledger books. I really love using this paper, and it definitely will kind of mix things up a little bit and make this card. You know, I'm not crazy about, see, I like that myself. I'm not crazy about where I put that plane. I think I'm going to put it going up because it was pointing my, it's pointing right off the page, and you don't want that in a composition. So that's better. I like that. I'll plug this down inside, and I felt like one more thing was needed on this, and I thought maybe a little star would be nice. So I tried a gel pen, I tried the Wink of Stella. I wasn't crazy about the results of either one of those. You might be able to see them here. They just weren't bold enough. They look nice and would be great as a background, but it wasn't bold enough. So I'm going to do just that kind of asterisk star with the Zig two-way pen, and I'll let it dry. I'm going to test it out here, and then if I like it, I'll put it there. So I'm going to let that dry, and I will be back. Okay, so I just recorded how I did this, and the camera wasn't on. That just happens to me so often. I know it happens to a lot of YouTubers, but what I did was I took my two-way, my Zig memory system. It says squeeze and roll two-way glue. This stuff works great with foiling. So you can sort of tell that it's blue when it comes out. You can sort of tell there. But I'm going to do it here. And then when it's dry, you see that blue line? I hope you do. It's a light blue line. And then when it's dry, it will be clear. So I drew over here, and just going to go ahead, and I used some of this Ranger foil, which works just as well as any other kind of foil on the market. Mink has, Heidi Swap has foils out. They're very nice. And it's got to be completely clear. So it's just tacky. So when you lightly burnish it just with your fingertip and you pull it off, and there you have it. It works really great every time. So that's how I got little foiling onto this card. I might add a little bit more, but we'll see.
Thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe.